Hey, True Believers England team here. I woke up 7 o'clock and have not stopped moving. Um, we're moving, doing this is the big push. We got the truck and we're loading everything. And I actually did crash out for a little bit. Hello to Dalton. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing okay. How's
And
everybody else doing?
so far, so this is everybody else right now. I crashed out and I woke up and I'm getting everything together and I see a message. Eric is tired and RDV's like, yeah, if you don't want to do a cover ranking, don't. So I figure, okay, nobody wants to do a cover ranking tonight. Deathstroke, I guess, will be on Sunday. I want to get these done because Halloween's coming up. And it looks like season 16 is going to bleed into Halloween. So half of it's going to be normal, half of it's going to be Halloween stuff. And then the next one is, there you go. Check your tell you forgot the T in the. That's just normal. So I figured, I just figured let's have a hangout. Let's talk about whatever you guys really want to. This, of course, it won't let me change it from here. It says you could change what you need to from the edit button right here, but nah.
YouTube is not cooperative. Who knew?
No, it's
Except us for the last decade. Yeah.
You got to push the truck. Good grief, no. Oh, yeah, it was pretty okay today, except for we found out 55. Moving at 55 is a hell of a lot different than moving at 35. I'm just saying. 40 even. I brought in, because I've got a lot of the books I'm holding for you guys are in long boxes. There's like 6 long boxes full of stuff. I picked up one, carried it, picked up the other, and my niece said, what are we doing? What are we doing? And it decided to stop. So I told, like, every 2 long boxes, I'm sitting down. I'm just, okay, now let's get back up. Because the knee is just, it was rough. The girls are here to help tomorrow. It's going to be, but we got a lot done today. But we came home, had dinner. I laid down and gone. I had illusions that I was going to get ready the auction tomorrow and all this kind of stuff, do stuff. I was even going to price out the movie posters. I've got the movie posters right next to me.
The world had other plans.
Yeah, well, was this ants? Yeah, it's the ants movie poster. But I was going to price that out for the flea market. Hey, I could send it in a tube if anybody wants to. Yeah. Yeah, so it was an interesting day. It was a good day. Productive. That's at least you can hope for. So I am tired, and in all honesty, the thought of a structured 2-hour live stream just kind of scared me. This might go on for 2 hours, but the thing is, if I get crashed out, I could.
It'll be extemporaneous and informal.
If I do crash out, I could just. Okay, guys, I got to go at the one hour mark or whatever. So, never seen it. Ants is pretty damn good. As a matter of fact, I like it better than Bugs Life. I love Bugs Life, but I love Ants.
I think you and the rest of the world probably agree on that, because I have heard for years everyone says it's such a shame that Ants didn't do as well as Bugs Life did because Ants is the better movie.
Okay.
And honestly, I agree, because like Bugs Life is one of those Pixar movies that like exists, but I never feel inclined toward rewatching it or anything. It's not one of the ones that I think of Pixar and I immediately go, let's watch that one again. It's just sort of there. It's kind of like the Cars movies.
That developed the other day. The cat was on a box right over here and decided he was going to join me on the chair. And instead of grabbing the chair, he grabbed my chest and my stomach, and he drew blood. I'm allergic. I have esophagitis right now. There's an inflaming. It is inflamed. And I am in pain every time I swallow, burp, do anything basically with this particular area of my body. And one of the things that sucks is I can't have spicy food. It sucks, man. When I get a new box, I'm going to name it Desert Rose. Desert Rose. I'm trying to do Ramblin' Rose, but there you go. Okay, so I figured, what are we going to talk about? And I thought, why don't we talk about comic books in general? Obviously, I was hoping RDV would or Zack, somebody who's reading new comics, would jump on for this one. I don't have a lot of new comics experience, but I thought one thing that a lot of people have brought up in the past that I have not really delved into, because I kept hearing about, oh, your boy Zack, he's losing his mind, he's going crazy. I look at the videos, I'm thinking, I don't know, he's not saying anything controversial. And then Eric told me, you got to go over to the posts and see what he's saying. So I figured it might be fun.
Oh, is he falling down a Twitter rabbit hole?
No, it's not Twitter. It's his community posts, apparently, that's pissing people off. So I figured, okay, if we're going to talk about the culture war and all that kind of stuff, I wanted to come up
resurrecting the old dramas again.
Yeah. And so I figured, you know what would be fun? I literally went to the Chat GPT and said, could you write a pretentious title for YouTube based on the comic book culture wars? And I got the comic book culture wars examining modern changes in comics. And then I asked for a similar pretentious description. But there you go.
I'm kind of hurt you didn't ask me first, because I think I have the market cornered on pretension in this particular corner of the internet.
Right? Necromancy is up. Okay, what are we talking about? Necromancy is up your alley, is it not, Dalton? Is that banging the dead?
That would be necrophilia. Necromancy is the esoteric raising of the dead.
Okay. Well, I thought it might be fun to go over these. I didn't look at them. I just backed it up to a week, see what he has to say. I got to tell you something, though. I'm going to forewarn you here, because there are some things about the black pills. I kind of agree. Watch the movie before you trash it. And there's a lot of stuff where it's like, oh, well, this movie is garbage and it's not even out yet. You know, that kind of stuff.
And let's not forget the question review instead of the descriptive review. I've said this before, and I will say it again for the record, because I have yet to disprove this little test of mine. The more actual description of the movie you get from one of those reviews, that is a movie they've actually paid attention to. When they deliberately go in looking to shit on something and don't want to pay attention to the thing, what you'll get is a bunch of questions in the review. Right. The problem being, anyone who actually was watching it in order to, engage with the material would know the answer to those questions. The only reason that person didn't get the answers is because they weren't actually looking to engage with the material. They were looking to make it seem as shit as possible.
Actually, I think instead of the pretentious title, if I go to YouTube and I change the title to "Has your boy Zack gone full retard?" I think I'd probably get more. I mean, I think that's actually a better joke.
You probably can't use that particular R word.
Right. You're right. So but the point being is that if I make the joke, instead of being pretentious, if I make the joke being exactly what I'm talking about, like complaining about, then I think the joke is a little bit stronger.
Mm-hmm.
That's just me. Holy shit, I've got monetization off on 4 of my videos. Tomb of Dracula didn't monetize. The new Teen Titans didn't monetize. And the unboxing yesterday of the Valiant stuff didn't monetize for some reason. What the hell did we do on these? Am I getting flagged again? Who's flagging me? I mean, I can't think of a more irrelevant channel than my own now.
It might just be YouTube changing the algorithm again, so things that previously were neutral are now forbidden because reasons.
Yeah. Okay, let me see. I put in a little hate, monetize this. Hey, Gilly. What's up? Oh, okay, let's get to this. By the way, oh yeah, I forgot I was going to change the title to something less pretentious and more clickbaity-ish. What do we got? What do we got? The culture wars. Nope.
I would say
your boy Zack gone off the deep end.
Okay, that's better.
There you go. Same shit. I mean, this live stream is about 6 months too late, but okay. All righty.
Better late than never.
Name is something. Okay. DNC has gone full anti-customer. Well, we'll find. I'm going to find out what I agree and what I disagree with you guys about all of this. I'm not saying I'm going to agree with anybody here. I have many times pissed off viewers because I said our side of the aisle had to get their shit together, Mm-hmm. But one thing I promise you is whatever I see here, I'm going to have an honest reaction to. I am not going to tell you, oh my gosh, this new movie is sucky, because that's the audience I cultivated. I don't think actually, even when my channel was on the rise, I don't think my audience was more of the free thinkers. Yeah, we agreed on a lot of stuff, but we
were also willing to actually discuss things instead of presupposing things.
I never wanted to be an automaton. You say it.
Automaton is the word you're looking for.
Yeah. Nor did I want the viewers. Okay, so I backed this up to about a week. Oh, okay. Talking about aliens, 9 days. Movie studio shockingly wants to make 100. Okay, what is it? The meme. Warner Brothers moves up Superman digital released August 15th despite strong theatrical hold. Okay. And let's see. Movie studio shockingly wants to make 100% of 25 streaming sales instead of 30% of $10 movie tickets, since theaters get higher percentage. Blah blah blah. Yada yada. It's almost as if movie studios don't care about artificial benchmarks set by incel YouTubers who have. Okay, got to read more. Decided that any superhero movie that doesn't make $1 billion is a failure. Okay, so
Warner Brothers has been acting like that since before Man of Steel even came out.
A lot of movie theaters, or a lot of movies since streaming have been doing this. But here's the thing: the whole model. I actually talked about this because last year Barbie was the movie that Warner Brothers quickly put into on HBO Max and into digital and all that kind of stuff. And the thing is they're killing the theatrical experience. And what they're doing is they're making it less of an event to go see a movie. Even a movie like Superman. If you know that it's going to be on TV for free in 3 months, you get on that.
You can wait 3 months.
Yeah.
It's not like the old days where if something came out in the summer, you wouldn't be able to get it on DVD or VHS until like 6 months to a year later.
Frankly, I think they should go back to that model. You put it out in the theater until its theatrical run dies, and then you release it on DVD. Get all the sales from that,
and only then
DVD. Now it would be DVD and digital purchase,
Blu-ray and 4K and all the other formats.
Give that a 2 or 3 month run, and after that, you put it on the streaming services. That way, you have, as Matt Damon said in that famous Hot Wings clip, whatever, you have your second grand opening. And that's what they did, but they have it so close together, there's never a first. They're taking away from the first.
Here's the problem is Warner Brothers, as usual, don't know what the fuck they're doing. And they have not for decades. They do not know what to do with the DC IP in general.
The message of his where is it? The message of his thing is that he's going after people who, like the Snyder Bros, who are Oh, it didn't make $1 billion. Well, neither did the Zack Snyder movie. Yeah.
To be fair, you've got the other side doing basically the same thing. People swore up and down after its opening weekend. Oh, it's $1 billion guaranteed. Blah, blah, blah. And it's like,
never said guaranteed myself, but I was truly hoping it would have been. To tell you the truth.
I didn't really have a dog in the fight, but I'm not particularly surprised that it ended where it did. Because if you remember when we were discussing what are first steps and Superman gonna do, and I said I expect they'll both be right in the middle, somewhere in the vicinity of 500 million. I undershot it a little bit with Superman. I overshot it a little bit with Fantastic Four, but in general, I was right because I could tell you that there really wasn't much groundswell of support for either one. The only reason Superman might be able to inch past 600 million is because it overperformed domestically.
Right,
had it performed like a normal movie domestically, it wouldn't have even broke 500.
Okay, I'm moving up. By the way, this is the first time I've seen anything from your boy Zack in over a year. I feel like I'm dying of. Wait, what? I'm reading that in AZ's voice. I don't know what that is. I'm watching movies in theaters. I just don't like the people. I had a couple of bad. I got to admit, if I see, like, you know how everything's a reserved seating now. Yep. If I see people got seats near me, I move my seat. I won't sit near people.
Because people have just forgotten movie theater etiquette entirely. Like, everyone and their mother is on their phones and shit.
I've gotten to the point where I sit in the bowl, the third, fourth row.
Yeah.
And I like it because all I see is movie screen. I don't see people. I don't hear people. It's just me and them. I absolutely agree on this. All right, next one, Heels Babyface. Now, this is the guy who got famous because he screamed.
The current day speech. Yeah.
Right. Okay, so I found most of Alien Earth to be nonsensical drivel, no shit. Whereas the action, I could have told you that, by the way, before he even started. What do you think these guys thought of it? They didn't like it. Whereas the action and gore was nice distraction for mere moments. Once more, we are greeted with retarded personal making the dumbest of decisions. Like what? There's nothing right here, by the way, is said.
Okay? Yeah, you didn't describe or analyze anything. Yeah.
Making me just wish they would all become fodder for the xenomorphs. This could be written by somebody who has never watched the TV show. And there is nothing said about the TV show.
Well, and let's all be fair. The trope of horror franchise has stupid people in it that you can't wait to see get got by the monster is as old as the freaking hills. Like that, so much so that movies like Cabin in the Woods are explicitly a parody of that shit. It's one of like even people who love horror movies, and I certainly am in that category, will still make inside jokes about, oh, the stupid horny jock and horny cheerleader are dying in 3, 2, yep, and they're dead.
Yeah, so, okay, let's take, I'm not going to call him your boy, Zack. It's Richard. It's Richard Meyer. It's Diversity in Comics, your fucking boy, Zack. Get the fuck out of here. Seriously, Richard, your name's fucking Richard, all right? The hell is that? I mean, granted, I'm not Eglantine, so maybe, but even when he started, it was Diversity in Comics. What the fuck is your boy Zack?
I don't know why. I don't know why.
Hold on. Are you actually going to start wearing a big fucking clock around your chest, your boy? I know it's been like years that he's had this, but ever since I'm like, God damn, your boy Zack, really? Okay, this is
you're doing the old man yelling at clouds thing.
Yeah, but there you go. That's my old man thing right there. But like I said. He's calling himself your boy Zack, but my real name isn't Eglantine, so I can't really say much about that. All right, so he goes on to say, Disney hurted my feelings, so I have to give everything they produce a negative sounding review, even if it's perfectly fine. Okay, so here's the thing. He's almost there. I think my critique of what Heels versus Babyface said is a little bit more accurate. What Richard did here, first of all, you hurted my feelings. He is assuming emotion from Heels versus Babyface, and then he does the so I have to give everything I produce a negative sounding review, even if it's perfectly fine. It being perfectly fine is Richard's opinion. Now, heels versus babyface might have actually seen the show, and this might actually be his real opinion. I'm just telling you, he hasn't said anything to prove that he actually watched it. His heels versus babyface. Never mind. It looked like Richard's Splato El Gato thing. Go on ahead, Don.
Here's the other half of that though. DNC or Richard or your boy Zack. That's an entire ass business model on YouTube now. We have to give Disney negative reviews because they hurt our feelings. Let's not act like the entire like Comicsgate movement and Gamergate before that wasn't built on the industry has pissed us off and we have to, give them a reckoning for it. That's sort of the whole like impetus behind the model. Granted, when you do it right, there's more than that. But let's not act like the fans are salty because the IP is being mishandled. Is not a completely valid argument all of a sudden.
All right, let me get to the chats. It looks like Rhaegar's doing. I guess he's going for that #1 spot. I've got those crown things going on where the more comments you give, the higher you rank. Anyway, he's saying, also, I was happy to hear on Friday Night Tights, Paul Chato was a guest tonight. I like him. I've seen a couple of his. I don't watch him all the time, but occasionally he'll have a topic I like. Excuse me, guys. And he had some positive words for Alien Earth, so not everyone on the panel was like, I hate everything. Let's see, Black Spider. Unfortunately, I've got into fights before. If I go, it's in the morning now. Oh, okay. All right. Well, glad to have you while we can. Dark Admiral saying your boy Zack started on Reddit. And Rhaegar saying he likes calling him your boy Zack better because of the irony. Comics with your boy Heather Antos. Is he like, you know what? If I see it, I'll see it. It's not perfectly fine, but it's also isn't terrible. There's a thing called nuance. Here's the thing. My review of the first 2 episodes of Alien Earth was the first one was great. Well, I loved it. Like, I was like, holy shit, this could be like Aliens Game of Thrones shit. This could be really well written. I would love the world building. I love the characterization. I was very much into it. The second
I assume episode 2 was a downgrade.
Absolutely. It was a bunch of monsters chasing the protagonist up the stairs. So they, it was, and I'm using that as a metaphor, but it was a lot of dumb decisions and just to keep the tension going. Third episode, though, we're back in business. So we're 2 for 1 now. So it's still in the positive. I'm still liking it. And I'm willing to keep going on it.
I'll watch it. I'll catch up and watch it, I think, when it's finished, because I don't really have much skin in the game with regard to the Alien franchise. But I know that pretty much ever since Prometheus, the IP has kind of been in a very weird place. So
there was a certain point where I realized we have more shitty Alien product than we had good Alien product. And I'm a dude who can watch. I don't particularly care for it. It's more of a, I'm going to watch the Alien quadrology. So number 3 is in there. Mm-hmm. The number 4, I get shit for liking number 4, but number 4 is directed by a guy who did a movie called City of Children. He is he makes beautiful movies.
You sure you're not thinking of the City of Lost Children? Because I know that's
City of Lost Children. Yeah, that's it. That's the one I'm talking about. Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna say because that's what it sounded like, and I was like, does he mean this one?
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. Okay, let me get some more comments, and then we're going to move to the next thing here. That eyeball says, alien, says Tony Hayes, very creepy. It goes into your face and takes place of your eyes and controls your brain at the same time. Rhaegar says he has faith in Alien, so it's kind of doing the end. I never actually watched Andor. Hispanic people. What you gonna? No, I'm just kidding. I have no reason why I haven't watched Andor because I hear it's pretty good. I've got reasons I haven't watched The Acolyte. I call them
because the first episode is the best episode, and it's a downhill from there. And you didn't even like that first episode.
How is it that Zack makes himself more unlikable than Az? Oh yeah, okay, yeah. I'll next time I talk about him, I'll use his name rather than Heels Babyface. Dalton, I read Alien Predator and Alien vs Predator novels when I was a teen. They were super good. Undead Quinn is mentioning the South Park being amazing. You know what? I don't give a shit if they're trying to take the piss out of the Republicans and the and conservatives. It's if it's time for us to take our shots, we're gonna take our shots, right? Because they've made fun of everyone. Hold on, let me finish my thought. I just wish they were funny. You know, it's like the whole thing with what's her name with her face melting. That was funny. Why is she killing dogs? They just, I don't know. It seems like they're going after the GOP. They're going after the left, but they're doing it in such a lazy manner. I was hoping for better. Is all I'm saying.
The issue isn't that they're going after everybody, because they've always done that. Like, they've always operated on even things that they agree with aren't immune from criticism. Some of the best episodes of South Park in the old days were the episodes where they kind of took the piss out of agnostic atheists, even though Matt and Trey are both agnostic atheists. The issue is, one, they're being a little bit more lopsided about it in the modern day because they're a bit out of touch, and two, because they are a bit out of touch, the humor doesn't hit quite so well as it was when they were young and edgy. So
well, that actually is also to be expected, because now they can buy and sell every one of us. Let's see. I haven't seen it, but I like the girl's hair. The old Dark Horse Alien Predator comics were great. Yes, absolutely. Charlie Kirk thought it was funny, and I saw that he changed it, his profile pic. All right, so they don't really touch leftists. Not really. This is just true. I haven't seen. Well, yeah, I've seen some. I've seen them go after the woke and all that. Okay, so this meme is Nerdrotic saying slop. It was August 14th. What's the show? Okay, the show is out 2 days. And when you're a fan, but you hate things for money. And this is actually true. I mentioned this before. There's something called being audience captured.
Yeah, that's just describing reality is what that's doing, unfortunately.
So let me describe it. Audience captured, let's say, like this channel right here, as a matter of fact, it got audience captured. I was making videos. I was making comic book review videos, opinion videos, all sorts of stuff like that. Nothing was clicking. And then I saw Captain Cummings talking to Captain Frugal about woke in comics. And I saw, oh, goodness gracious. Oh, my gosh, I can't believe Howler Mouse talk about the same thing. And I was like, well, let me look into this. And then I made a video. And that video, woo, it went up. And then woke was the word of the day in all my videos, because that one got a lot of views. All my videos had stuff to do with identity politics, wokeism, and so, well, SJW at the time.
Back in the day, it was called social justice. I still think that's a more descriptive name for it than woke.
Anytime I stepped off the plantation, the views plummeted, so I stayed on the plantation. Nerdrotic, Gary put, before we even saw a trailer, there was a picture of the show you like, The Witch show.
Agatha All
Along. Yeah, there was a show, there was a picture of it, and Gary said, if you thought the Acolytes were bad, and that was suggesting that Agatha All Along was worse, even though he hadn't seen scene one of it. That is exactly what Richard is describing here. Okay, score one for you, Rich. All right, What do we have here next? We have, I regret ever supporting. Oh, wait, hold on. Wait, what? He needs to show the top. Richard, if you're going to, what are they reacting to? Anyway, Saturn is saying, I regret ever supporting this business. I read comics for good stories and good art, and I've seen none of it with Ripperverse. It's just generic slop turned out to fleece money from rubes. And Eric July said, I'm sorry you feel this way. Which books did you grab from us? Perhaps I could give you some other suggestions. Okay. I think personally, chef's kiss on the reply from Eric July.
I think both sides are being pretty fair there, honestly.
Yeah. Hey, look, I tried it. Didn't like it. Look, I read not Ripperverse. What's the first one? Isom? I read the first issue of Isom.
I think that's the first one.
I did not like it. I did not like the first issue of Isom. I never picked up issue number 2. Actually, I've never picked up any Rippaverse after that. Not because I didn't like that one, so all of it sucks. It's just I just haven't read it.
Yeah, I think both sides are being eminently reasonable there. I don't think anyone is committing a faux pas there.
Well, this dude Saturn is saying that he didn't like the books, therefore it's just generic slot turned out to fleece money from rubes. No, I honestly do believe that Eric July is trying to create something. Now, whether he's good at it right now or bad at it right now, that's up to you. But the thing is, I think he's sincere in his attempts right now.
Yeah, I think though that Rich is alluding to the fact that a lot of the CG approved books from back in the day after, the split with Ethan and company, a lot of those did wind up being just as generically badly written as the big 2 content that it was meant to replace.
Well,
so I can understand him getting that feeling, because to be fair, and I agree with you, I think Eric July is sincere in his desire to provide a good product for his fans. But a lot of people who grew out of the phase 2 of CG, quote unquote, did basically just do the same thing, but for the other side.
I was asked by Doug and Tim what I thought about the first issue of Soul Finder, and they wanted an honest opinion. I said I liked it. First of all, I did. I liked Soul Finder, but I did have to say that it was clearly written by someone who hasn't written before. Well, not fiction. I mean, Doug was Doug, and I'm paraphrasing, by the way. Doug was a writer, but
he's a journalist more so.
This was his first attempt at a comic book, and I mentioned that, and they took it constructively. But I meant it constructively. I love Doug. I love Tim. I wouldn't, you sums bitches, you're just grifters or something like that. Now let's see Richard's reply.
Tim is one of the most harder working people in comics. Sorry,
I know, right? We're gonna see Richard's reply, and then I'm gonna get to the chat. That's the way I'm gonna do this with these memes. We're gonna read what it's going on, Richard's reply, and then the chat. Customer, okay. I bought some Rippaverse books and they were shit. Eric, you're gonna have to narrow it down. That describes almost all. See, okay, that's just a shot. I mean, I guess if you're trying to be funny,
that's a straw man and a quip. Yeah, more so than actual criticism of any kind.
Alrighty, so let me get the chats. Tony Hayes, I've not watched the Kristen Ilm episode, but she had to shoot a wild dog that was killing the cattle when she was young. Oh, okay. Okay, there you go. Thank you for the context. Rhaegar saying, I actually have seen Gary back off when challenged on saying things are just trash. Well, at least then he's being sincere. It's one, because like I said, it's his brand. Whether he wants to admit it, whether his fans want to admit it or not, that is the brand. But it's good that when he's challenged with it, if he's just doing the bit and he backs off, that's cool. If he, I mean, let's face it, sometimes you honestly feel this show is shit, Yeah. Let's see. He's not showing the context because he's being disingenuous. He is guilty. Yeah, I have no idea what the video is. Richard is writing EVS's Jot, says Dark Admiral. E turned on his former E turned. Oh, usually when you guys say E, you mean me. So what the fucking former friend did I turn on? Okay, so Ethan, let's just say EVS. There's only 3 letters there. E. He's EVS. Do you think Linda McMahon and Susie Wiles were hot back in the day? I would have to take a look. That's a Eric and RDV question. I tried Mike Barron's Florida Man. It just fell flat. Thank you. Okay, the Florida Man. I love Mike Barron's writing. Excuse me. But Florida Man was just not there, and I think it's because I'm Florida Man. The problem with it was, hey guys, let's go get drunk and do some stupid shit. No, we do stupid shit sober. We do super stupid shit. It's our default.
And if you're gonna mock it, you gotta push it over the top, or else it just falls flat.
Drunk Floridian makes no sense. The whole point is We have criminals fucking alligators because it's there, not because they're drunk or drugged up. It's because
I have to get your opinion on this, because I did watch a movie once that I think perfectly encapsulates an actual Florida man. If you've ever seen the Harmony Korine movie Spring Breakers, there's a guy in that movie named Aileen.
Okay.
He is basically the most accurate cinematic representation of Florida man I've ever seen.
Describe why.
It's been a while. It's been a while since I've seen it. You'd have to. I think it'd be better if you saw it, because I can say a bunch of stuff that happens in it, but like it's not gonna hit the same unless you see the actual performance.
Okay.
But like he's this guy who kind of dresses like a trailer park version of a pimp, and his favorite movie is Scarface, and he watches it on repeat constantly. And basically, he is the guide of the main characters in the movie, which are a group of college girls going to Florida for spring break, as the title would imply. And he kind of ends up getting them into all sorts of crazy mob shit because they get drunk and think it's a good idea.
I've been to that party, by the way. If you ever seen Boogie Nights and they're hanging out and in the background some guys firing off firecrackers and they're always nervous, I have been to that fucking party where I was like, holy shit, we're gonna die here, because we're the oddballs. We don't know people here. We went, because you know how if you have a big group of friends, you always have that one guy that shows up occasionally to be a part of the group. And it was his friends. So we went with him to this party, and it was smoky. Like every third person had a bong in their hand. Some guy was talking about who he wanted to beat up, when he wanted to beat up, and God damn it, he wanted to beat somebody up now. It was just this dank area. I was like, God damn.
Yep,
so
that's literally what happens in Spring Breakers. That's where they meet the Aileen guy, and he gets them in deeper.
So Eric July here saying the dangers of conflict marketing: focus on value, focus on professionalism. That's what creates real opportunities. I get this. The conflict marketing is basically what Ethan Van Sciver does. And by the way, that fat freaking walrus, I made a joke with Mindy Wheeler on Facebook. She wrote this whole thing about EVS, and I just went, who is that? And she took me serious, so I had to explain, wait a second, hold on, maybe you don't. We have actually talked, but I guess she doesn't remember me. So I had to tell her the historical context of where I was coming from, but I was just making a joke about how irrelevant Ethan Van Sciver is right now. And I am saying this as a guy whose channel is shadow banned, and I'm lucky if I get 200 views on a video. What was Zack's? God damn it, I did it myself. What was DNC's thing? The entire appeal of Rippaverse is telling depressed middle-aged Republicans that they are winning by ordering awful comics because that might bother Heather Antos. Okay, first of all, Zack, that was your fucking business model. Holy shit. Hold on. You got to let me finish this one. Sorry. I have been here since the beginning. I am one of the first four, including Richard, members of what would become Comicsgate. He fucking said in the beginning he's going to build a goddamn audience so he could sell his fucking books. That was his goddamn. Everybody who followed, I swear to God, is following the freaking Richard C. Meyer business fucking plan. And you're here calling out this guy. Look, once again, didn't like the only comic book I've read of Rippaverse. Doesn't mean there isn't good shit there. It just means that I know that Rippaverse followed fucking Richard Meyer into this same goddamn thing. Let me build an audience talking about the culture war. Then I'm going to sell it. And yes, then I'm going to go after the people who didn't. Rippa did that as well. He stopped because he realized, fuck it, I want to focus on my books. But don't give us any high and mighty horse shit there, Rich.
Yeah, the pot has not just met the kettle, it has drugged it and left it in an alley somewhere.
All righty. That was okay. Sorry about that, guys. I lost my shit for a sec. Let's see. You haven't been to those parties.
I keep wanting to get like a pocket watch, so when you go on those kind of rants, I can just like look at it while you're doing the thing.
Yeah. Let's see. Dark Admiral's saying that he's been to those parties as well. It's like a metal concert. Has that? Yeah, like holy shit. Even Ethan's sales are showing he isn't winning. I've never understood it. I mean, how can he even have sales now if he's not putting out product? Let's see. Never go full EVS, says Undead Quinn. EVS focuses on not delivering his product. Eric focuses on delivering his product. He is following the Iconic Comics brand of it. Put your shit out. People are going to like it, or they're not going to like it. But at least you got your stuff out, and you're being
at least you're honest and not calling your fan base evil or the other side just because they didn't like that you were a shit businessman.
Okay, now I don't know who Arian Noble is. He's saying 609 Tales. Most comics are meh. This always comes across the basic haters. The man is a successful business and owner, and comics took a half century to get really good. He started this on his own. I'm sure he will get better. I'm not sure why anyone would have any other take unless they just don't like conservatives. Well, okay, first of all, that's bullshit. Well, I don't understand why people would disagree with me unless they do blah, blah. It's like people saying, oh, if you like that movie, I don't like, you're stupid. You're so stupid. Arian, I'm giving you that voice. I don't know if that's you in that picture, but you deserve that. It's so stupid.
Especially because DNC or Richard or your boy Zack is one of the quintessential like conservative voices in comics right now. Like it's a bit like saying if you don't disagree with Alex Jones, why don't you buy his absurd supplement bullshit? No. The reason being, no matter how much you put money in the Alex Jones was right jar, a lot of the times the product they're selling is shite, and you react to their product being shite.
Now, what he said about comics getting better, it took 50 years. Some people would say...
Yeah, I would hard disagree with that on the grounds that the Golden Age exists, but, that's just me.
More like, what was it, 38 to 68? I'd say more like 30 years. Alrighty, let's see what Zack has to say. God damn it, I'm calling him Zack now. If he has never shown any creative talent over 3 years and 30 books, why would you think he will eventually GITGUD, get good? He has successfully demonized all criticism and detracting and sells winning to his audience of depressed middle-aged Republicans instead of good stories and intriguing characters.
I think that's
he's not
more
moonwalking on the dead careers of mainstream pros as he promised when he started his company. He's selling a lie to aging conservatives. Is this CVS or is it?
Yeah. I was about to say that sounds more like Ethan's bag than it does Eric. Like I didn't find anything in the Ripperverse interesting enough that I wanted to pick up on any of it. But from what I've seen, Eric July is much more close to being like Tim Lim and Mark Pellegrini than he is to being like EVS, which that description applies hard to EVS, and it doesn't really apply to either the Iconic Comics model or Eric July for the most part. And if it did, I think it's fair to say Eric July has reformed himself a bit and is now focusing on, now that you have an audience that likes your stuff, you need to make sure you keep providing them product. Otherwise, you are a liar and a horrible businessman.
All right, so let me get these the chat here. Where do we go? Okay, here it is. The pot jumped tar pit, says Undead Quinn. EVS says Rhaegar. Why is it every time we hear about him, it's drama? That's his brand. I mean, that is literally his brand. What EVS did when he stole Comicsgate was he wanted you to feel that it was an us versus them situation. And by giving him money, you are supporting the cause.
Yeah.
EVS, by the way, and I am going by evidence of what I've seen, what he said. EVS has no interest in winning the cause. Okay, if you have interest in winning the cause, I think you're going to end up isolating people who just want to make money. I've got personal experience in that particular thing. But yeah, that's all he's about now. And I tell you what, when we were watching that history of Comicsgate thing, that started to piss me off. Now, this is something I created. I mean, granted, okay, yeah, diversity in comics much bigger than I am during the whole thing. I was the one that said, hey, guys, look, we all think the same. Let's get together. Yeah.
Tony,
Now,
I've never heard that song, so I don't know what song you're trying to hype me up with here.
I watched that thing, and it pissed me off what Ethan Van Sciver did. And all he did was, I need an enemy so I could get these people to pay me. That is his business model.
Well, that's always been why I refer to him as the comic book equivalent of Robespierre, because he saw Comicsgate, our original version of it, and he thought to himself, not that he agreed with the premise there shouldn't be this lionization of comics pros. He saw Comicsgate in its original form and went, I could make myself the king of that because I'm a comics pro, but I'm on the outs with the industry, so I'm going to create a shadow industry and take it over. That's all he did. He wasn't interested in what we were interested in, which was, hey, let's treat the existing IPs with more care. Hey, let's have the industry actually cater to the people who support it, etc. And let's not treat creators or pros like gods. No, he wasn't interested in that. He was interested not in dethroning the king American Revolution style, but cutting off all the king's heads and then sitting himself on the frickin' throne, a la French Revolution style, which is why I call him the comic book equivalent of Robespierre.
So, did I read this? Oh, yeah, I already read. Let's get the chat here. No company is perfect in their beginning. That is true. Image Comics is a great example of that. Marvel Comics, by the way. Timely was not the house of ideas. They followed everybody else. Timely and Atlas, they were a copycat house. Whatever was successful at other places, they did. Do people use the word boy in the Well, this one does. I got a picture with Eric July at that's cool. Glad you like his stuff. Once again, I read Esom #1, didn't like it. Haven't read anything else from Rippaverse. Mainly, I don't read a lot of new comics anymore. It just seems useless to me. I don't get as much enjoyment out of them. And I've got an entire bookshelf of trade paperbacks that I bought and haven't read. And yeah, a lot of them are reprint books like the Showcase and the Marvel Essentials.
Yep.
So I am, or when we do our Monday night stories, I'm having fun revisiting these 80s, 90s, even 2000s in some cases books than I am. Whenever I do venture into new comics, it's more fun for me. We read Mantra, had a great time. What was the last one we did? Metabarons was really good. What was the last one you did? Because I know you weren't on Metabarons.
Last one we did.
Shadow Man.
No, I wasn't. I wasn't on that because I was busy that night.
Yeah, Shadow Man was fun. Yeah, I'm having a great time going through these books again. So new books really don't appeal to me. God bless you if you're a fan. I'm just not.
Yeah, it's just a different strokes for different folks sort of thing. I'm glad that there are people who like his stuff, and like I said, from what I can see, he's not pulling an Ethan. He's actually providing product for the people who want to consume that product.
At some point in time,
all the more power to him for that.
What is it? Cyber Frog, Love and Honey, or something like that. At some point in time, I might read that. I'm with Dalton. I am not really interested in Eric's comics to buy any. I may buy the first one just to own a piece of history, but he seems to be doing business well, says Rhaegar. Tony Hayes, can Dalton have the song Shockin' Farewell as his intro theme song when he comes into the show? I will find it and we'll see. I did used to have, what was it? do I still have it? The Roadhouse.
I've never heard that. I've never heard that song, so I don't know what song you're trying to hype me up with here.
I don't have the Roadhouse thing, but it's where the blind guy's playing the thing and he stops playing music. His name is Dalton. I used to have that. Let's see. I am getting some Ripperverse, but also planning on getting more iconic comics, says LM. Cool.
Personally, for me, I would, if I was allowed to pick my own theme song, I'd go for something like Red Right Hand or Bob Dylan's The Man in the Long Black Coat. Or actually, no, there's recently been there's a channel that does like Disney style villain songs, and one of their songs really resonates with me really well. That song is called Everything Has a Price. There's also We're All Mad Here, otherwise known as The Cheshire Kitten by CJ Tucker. I really love that song. That song is kind of my theme song, honestly.
So I highlight this because I got shit. When we were doing the big debate, I said the worst thing you guys did was you're late with your books. And I got shit because a lot of people, well, if it's worth it, we'll wait. I'm okay with waiting. Ultimately, you're going to destroy the whole thing because if you are not producing, then you are not competing with the very people you say you want to compete with. Also, by the way, if you're not getting your shit into the stores in front of people, you're not competing either. But okay. But yep. One of the things I said was you guys have to get these things out on time. If you are going, when Richard put out, what was it, Iron Lung or something, Iron Sights. He, it was, this has to be your best foot forward because you are doing this representing the movement. Now, once again, I'm a bit of a sycophant with the movement. I actually did want to win the culture war. So that was the whole thing.
As we told B. Claymore back in the day, we don't want to have to replace the industry. We just want our characters and our IPs to be treated well. God damn it.
Yeah. So it was something that I absolutely believed from the very beginning. People are going to stop if you continue to be late, and there are some people who took the money and ran. And that was one thing I said would happen in the big debate. You're going to have people come on, rah, I'm with you. Give me your money. And they're going to just bolt. They're going to head out of town. That's exactly what's everything. Don't watch that. No, you know what? Fuck that. I'm gonna snipe that shit. I'm gonna put it on my own channel because even if I have to EFAP it, because you guys go through that debate and you'll find out that about 98 to 100% of everything I said has come true so far.
Yep. Heavy is the head that wears the crown, I suppose.
No books or late, you're no different than the SJWs that scammed others. Exactly. Rainbow Brute still not seen in a mailbox, says to Hillam. And that has just contributed to the Walrus's irrelevance. I first heard of it. I thought I was running gag. I didn't think he would actually try to do the comic. Oh, the Rainbow Brute. Well, he got money for it. Fap it. Yes, I will fap it. Oh, I was about to put stop so I could continue to the next meme. All righty. I'm so used to writing stop between anything. All righty, so let's move on to this next one. Oh, Magdalene Visaggio. This guy is, yeah. I also wish ill on J.K. Rowling. I want generally for her to have an unhappy life and to lose her fortune and to be roundly mocked and abandoned, even by the people she loves. That would make me smile. She is a bad person who wishes ill on me, so I have no qualms returning the sentiment. Well, here's the thing. I will say this. Magdalene Visaggio, I understand, is it might actually be jealous because of J.K. Rowling's writing ability, her ability to cultivate an audience, and her natural ability to be a woman. Which
you're ignoring the actual context in which they're crapping on J.K. Rowling, because and this will never cease to amaze me.
Yeah.
Poor J.K. Rowling has lived long enough to see the full effect of the cultural switch, because she, it became a household name in the 90s and 2000s when the last dying gasp of the TradCon satanic panic stuff was happening. And so, of course, she got it from that crowd, which made her, of course, want to join the political left, and she did. But because she was a 90s style feminist and not a intersectional feminist, she's now fallen afoul of the intersectionalists, because she believes that she's a classic misandrist feminist, in the sense that she doesn't want men to have equal rights to women, and that's the other thing. People in the social justice side are claiming her as some kind of uber conservative now, when all this really amounts to is a schism between the churches of feminism. It's one kind of feminist versus another kind of feminist. We haven't even gotten into the issue of men's rights are also important, because we're too busy,
misogynist bastard.
Yeah, we're too busy framing one kind of feminist as a conservative and the other kind of feminist as left wing, and meanwhile, those of us who aren't even on feminism side are treated like terrorists, because apparently that's what the Overton window is now. You can pick one kind of feminism or another kind of feminism, and if you move outside of feminism altogether, we'll call you the devil.
It is funny that J.K. Rowling is getting shit for protecting or trying to protect women's rights. Okay, so Zack, his response was, "So you want to be her, or so you want her to be you?" I don't get that. I don't get that. I think if you said, "So you want her to be," I guess so. He wants her to think everything the same. Yeah.
I think what he's alluding to there is the ideological schism between traditionalist feminists and intersectional feminists.
I can't say much, Undead Quinn. I've been grifting as well. I don't know if you call it a grift. I try to sell stuff in order to make money. I don't, when I'm with the move and everything, with me asking for money, by the way, go on over to Ko-Fi, drop $1 in the tiller, drop $5 and get yourself a video coming up. Halloween's coming up. So go over to Ko-Fi, drop $5 or $8 in the chat. So you could say, hey, I want this for Halloween. I want that for Halloween. We already have one, by the way, on our other show, the one where we talk about comics. We're going to be talking about Ghost Rider issue 1 through 3, thanks to Frag Minion. Alrighty, let us move along here. Okay, what do we got? I guess Chat GPT 5 isn't limited by copyright like it's I noticed that too, by the way. I noticed that the AI is not caring about the copyright anymore. Okay, so here we have Disparu. Okay,
oh,
so
boy.
what are you saying? A100 says the pearl clutching about no young white men being published in the New Yorker is so funny. Like, men writ large are basically a subliterate population in the U.S. Men do not read literary fiction. If you even have a passing interaction with publishing, you realize this. Dude, that's a big ass.
No, that's one, that's straight up misandry. Two, it's factually inaccurate, and three, as a highly literate male in today's day and age, no, fuck you. You can just sod off.
Yeah, this is so factually incorrect. What's Disparu say? If you don't want to read about milking and rape fantasies, there is nothing in the new publishing world for you. They systematically discriminated against men. Now blame men for not reading the filth they call literature. Now, maybe that's what the guy was talking about. I don't know. Maybe there's a part where it was talking about new fiction, because you can see it's cut off right down here. But I don't know. I've read quite a few fiction books, even some without pictures.
There's a lot of really good modern fiction. You just won't find it in the romantasy genre, which is the thing that a lot of book talk using HR women tend to gravitate towards is romantasy and monster effing.
Okay, so this is what Richard says. What world does this incel live in? A trip to literally any Barnes & Noble will prove him wrong.
Not if the only thing they read isn't. Go ahead.
Which incel, A1 or Disparu? I'm assuming Disparu. But the thing is a lot of I think Disparu is kind of I don't know, but I'm going to make my blind assessment that he is specifically talking about the sci-fi fantasy area. I don't know. I don't know if there are any Peter Davids in there. By the way, I'm talking about the sci-fi writer this time, wrote the Postman. But I don't know. I got to say, I have no dog in this one. I can't really comment because I haven't been to a Barnes and Noble recently.
What they're referring to is on TikTok. There is a subculture called book talk, which are a bunch of middle-aged women, and frequently what they mostly focus on is romance fiction, and in particular the romantic subgenre of fantasy.
It is then focused more towards women.
Yeah, but there are
saying is right.
Yeah, but there are still plenty of other writers working today. I've simped for Jim Butcher many times over because the Dresden Files is awesome. Craig Schaefer has the Daniel Faust series. Simon R. Green has the Nightside. Like, there are so many other books being published today. It's just that thanks to the terminally online nature of Zoomer women in their various HR departments, you get a lot more emphasis placed on the romantic subgenre of sci-fi and fantasy than you do on pure sci-fi or fantasy, let alone all the other books and genres. And, even in nonfiction, there are dozens of books published every year, but we don't pay attention to them because they're not as marketable for stay-at-home women or HR women, and that's why romance gets overrepresented.
Let's move on here to the comments. Dalton is right. Rolling is no conservative. Yeah. The comic gigs dried up for Mags DeSaggio, says Undead Quinn. Dark Admiral comes in with Disparu is right, talking about the meme we're on. Disparu is actually pretty on point and factual with his analysis. He's just mad. Modern publishers cater to woken PC novels. Actually, you know what? We're going to feel that for a while. The way these things work, it seemed like that was the direction the world was going in, according to people who do this business. So they said, all righty, guys, we're going to give you this much money for this. You're going to write this. Woke. Here's all the money to write. And we're still waiting for all those books to come in. They might actually be cleaning house right now and doing everything right at this point, but we're not going to see that for a couple of years. It's the same with the movies.
Yeah, it'll be the 2030s or maybe even the mid 2030s by the time we actually get something more balanced back.
The in the movies, if you remember, it was like Oscar's so white, and then like 3 years later, and it took 3 years for Hollywood to catch up to Oscar so white. You saw stuff like 12 Years a Slave and Birth of a Nation and all that kind of stuff, where it was mostly movies with black people in them and such. So it just takes a while to get to it. Disparu is also gays, not an incel. Can't you be both?
I can confirm, as a gay virgin who very much wants to fix that someday, you can in fact be both. Although I will say I've only run into Disparu when he's tried to talk about certain shows and stuff.
Yeah.
And he was one of the ones that was shitting needlessly on Agatha, so I haven't watched a bunch of his stuff in a while.
I think Richard had to go back to work and he's just lashing out. And that might be a case on some of these where he's like, oh, I need my post. Wait, what did I say? Let's see. The books are hard to find writers. Rhaegar is saying he typically is pretty good with his takes on FNT. You got to help me out with these things. I'm not good at abbreviations. Fucking new something or other. Tits. It doesn't go way overboard. It's just like because Zack doesn't like Gary and as doesn't mean everyone on Friday Night Tights. Okay. Behaves the same. Alrighty, there we go. Khan. All right. Be funny if Khan lives one of the casts from FNT. All right. The sad part is publishers go under before they correct. Sometimes that happens. Oscars have always hated comedies, Ethereal. And
They hate genre. They hate genre stuff in general. They absolutely despise anything that's supposed to be popular or enjoyable.
The only time they gave a straight up comedy an Oscar was the time they shouldn't have, because it won against Star Wars. Star Wars should have been Best Picture in 1977. Instead, it went to Annie Hall.
Well, the Academy despises movies that are meant to actually please or entertain people. They want the art school, quote unquote, cred, and that's why the Oscars are continually becoming less and less relevant. Because unless and until the people working in Hollywood realize you should be able to say meaningful things and also be fun and entertaining, until someone finally has that monkey touches the monolith moment, they're just going to keep purity spiraling into more and more obscure art house crap, and no one is going to give a fuck what they think, because those movies are not made to entertain. They're in fact made to bore or annoy the audience as much as humanly possible.
Richard does not leave Disparu alone, does he? Alien Earth could have easily followed this blueprint. Each week, different aliens, wrap them up in an hour, have an overarching plot that explored the characters in the world. They forgot each episode of television should be satisfying on their own. So far, like I said, except for one, it has been. But the thing is, it's a lot of TV now. This is Disparu being disingenuous. Do I think they should go back to episodic TV? I don't know, in all honesty, because that's not what we're doing anymore. I love watching Smallville. Smallville is one of my favorite superhero shows. And it is exactly what he's talking about. It's old school TV. But we were watching hold on, let me finish.
Go ahead.
We were watching TV differently back then, week to week. Now entire seasons are dropped. And even if in a case like Alien Earth or Peacemaker, where we're waiting a week for the next chapter, ultimately, this is going to be a TV show on a streaming service, which people will binge. So it plays like an 8-hour movie or a 10-hour movie or however long. So Disparu, do I like? Now, I've never actually watched, what is this, Star something? I've never actually, I don't know the show he's referencing right here. Star Trek
Strange New World, I think, is what that
Stargate. Yeah. Well, so the episodic thing, it's an old school model. I think a lot more we're seeing the reason why we're having these is because ultimately it's streaming. It doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. What was it? The Tim Allen comedies and all. They're 30-minute shows. There might be overarching things, but ultimately it's one episode. But I just think I think the episodic thing is kind of
something I will say, and this is me being a little bit, back in my day, but something I will say, please go back to having multiple arcs in one season. Please.
Yeah.
I'm so sick of 8 episodes being focused on one story arc and then the season is over. And I'm also sick of it being a 8 to 10 episode season instead of at the very least like a 15 to 20 episode season. Frankly, that should be the bare minimum, and we should go back to having like 22, 23, 24 episode seasons. But for the love of God, please start telling stories complex enough to have more than one arc per season, and please give them an adequate number of episodes.
I'll tell you what,
especially because, and this will never cease to infuriate me, as you will well remember if you remember my review of Agatha episode 6. An 8-episode season should not have filler under any circumstances, and it shouldn't take 5 episodes of that 8-episode season for anything of substance to actually happen.
Speaking of 8 episodes, if you're going to wait 3 to 4 years between seasons, give us 15 to 24. Go old school on that. freaking, what is it? It's 6 years between Stranger Things. It was 3 years between Peacemaker. Horseshit. Shouldn't take 3 years to make eight episodes.
Yep.
It's ridiculous. All right. What did Richard say? It could have been bitching guitar solo as its theme song, and guest star could be Lorenzo Lamas. Yes. Great idea, Richard. All right, let's get to some chats here. I miss going to stores and library book sales. But haven't had time or inclination. We rode by today. I was like, holy shit, Muncie has a library. And it's split into two sections: fishing and non-fishing. Those awards are circle jerk like the talking about the Oscars. I stopped watching them seriously.
I used to volunteer in our local library, and I swear to God, if I never see a James Patterson book or a Tom Clancy book ever again, it will be too soon, because that's the only books that would ever be that people would ever ask for, and it made the like geeky book loving part of my soul hurt on a level I never thought was possible. That people were so obsessed with only James Patterson and Tom Clancy, for the love of God.
I think binge watching ruined TV, how they make it. Yeah. I haven't seen Wednesday, but yeah, it took too long. All right. Okay, let's move up to the next one here. What do we got? Once again, Disparu. Hollywood. Okay, so the Variety. Oscar Isaac is urging audiences to watch Frankenstein in theaters, not on streaming. Seeing it in theater would be ideal. I think people would get to see it on the big screen as much as they can. It is such a marvel. It'd be nice to have a communal experience. I agree with this, by the way. Let's see what Disparu says. Hollywood PR should work on a better marketing campaign than a communal experience. IMAX does well because you can't get that experience at home, but no one wants a communal experience in a place where you should make zero noise.
Yeah, no, that's correct.
I see what he's saying.
That's fair. I hate the modern theater going experience. It's terrible.
He's basically every X person is a worse experience. I get this. I get this idea. He's wording it wrong. People suck. The communal experience in movie theaters nowadays is
everyone being on their phones and not paying attention to the movie.
You know, young people. Actually, I guess I go at the wrong times. I go early. I go before people are off work, and everybody in the theater are older. So I'm not seeing a lot of younger crowd when I go to the movie. So I don't experience a lot of that kind of stuff. But there was one guy who wouldn't get off his phone until I told him to. I just said, hey, guy, I'm watching the movie. I'm seeing your phone. Take it outside, please. And at least he turned it off. But there was one dude that Gail goes, I think this guy's about to play with himself. So I stood up.
Oh my freaking God.
There are some bad scenarios. One of the worst times Gail had to subdue me is because we are waiting for the movie to watch, and we're waiting for the movie. What is this, a fucking goober? Is that what I'm feeling right now? Or is fucking somebody throwing Raisinets and goobers? The fuck is going? And then right onto Gail's head. That's done.
at which point your frontal lobes turned off and you became a Cro-Magnon for 5 seconds.
It was Gail. Don't.
Somebody wronged my woman. Time to roll some heads, etc.
I did the. I raised my voice a little bit. Very Florida man of me. Well, someone's got to whip their ass the way their mom and dad should have. And you get a little, because I guess they were hitting other people too, because people were murmur when I said that. I did go down and I told the management. They gave us free shit. Okay, we'll sit there. And I walked up and I just kind of stood and I looked at them. I'm thinking there's 3 of them. I might be able to beat the out of one of them hard enough to make the other 2 think they didn't want to do anything. But Gail's just like, sit down. They didn't do anything after that. Somebody came in and talked to them. Somebody left. I appreciated that. but they didn't do anything after that. But god damn, that fucking pissed me off. People suck in theater. Okay, here's a funnier one. I worked at Universal. Outside was a AMC theater. We got discounted tickets. I went and saw Four Brothers starring Marky Mark and the rapper guy does that. Hey Ya, I think it was. It's the afternoon. I brought in a whole freaking chicken dinner and everything. It was pretty easy because all you got to do is get a Universal merchandise bag. You can fill it with food and walk in. And I figure, okay, just in case, since I'm early for the movie, I'll go all the way to the top. And I'm sitting there, I'm eating my chicken dinner. I'm waiting for the movie to start. I'm all by myself.
Venkman, we need to make like a bingo card for these kind of rants, and we can just check them off every time he does them.
Okay, so anywho, so I'm all by myself. The movie has started, and these four girls come in. And I think we're all by ourselves. And they go and they sit down. And then at a certain point, they start cheering. Like, hey, we're gonna win, that kind of cheering. So I walk down and they're just doing their thing, and they're having a great time. So I joined in and I went, boo, boo, hey, and scared.
To be fair, they thought they were alone in the theater, so that might be fair.
Yeah, I did it as a joke too. They scared the fuck out of them. And sorry, ladies, but I'm trying to watch the movie. It ended up being a laughable experience. It was a fun experience. There you go. All right, let's move on here. Sorry about the long stories. Movies are more boring now than they were 40 years ago. I do not have an argument against that.
Yeah, the product also doesn't help things.
Especially when you're considering 1985 was Back to the Future, 1984 was Ghostbusters and Terminator. Yeah. It's not like in America, people in Britain don't tolerate what you should know. He's British, and the British are serious about deathly silent. Okay, I'm all for it. One of my worst things is the fact that popcorn is a movie food. I'm trying to watch a movie, all I hear is and by the opening your fucking plastic wrapper slowly just extends the torture. Rip that shit open. Oh my goodness gracious. I would win for every time he mentions Comicsgate and I'm the OG. Shit, yeah.
Again, we need to make like a bingo card so we can check them off when he does this.
This was in context because we're talking about Richard here. Alrighty, so the next meme. If you buy my book, Heather Antos will be so upset that she will not be able to finish her meatloaf dinner. What the fuck? Right-wing YouTubers be marketing their shitty comics. Richard, you did the fucking same thing off the back of the same fucking woman. You made your bones off of Heather Antos. Get the fuck out of here.
The pot and the kettle are now engaging in entire like Kama Sutras of calling each other out here.
Get the fuck out of Dodge, Richard. God damn it.
You are criticizing people for doing literally what you started doing. Like you were one of the originators of this precise shit.
He was the guy who started Sell Your Book off of making enemies out of the other. What he used to do, he went in, like he would go to Heather Antos, he would say some stupid shit, and she would reply, and he would go back to his audience. He wouldn't show the whole thread. He would just show what did you see what Heather Antos said to me? And then
if I had a dime
oh my gosh. Yeah.
If I had a dime for every Twitter-based video on what used to be the DNC channel, I would probably be able to like buy myself a literal mansion at this point.
If you would go to the original thread, you would see he started the shit. Yep. You're full of shit. You know, I'm
to quote something Christopher Hitchens used to say, you are creating people sick and then commanding them to be well.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see. Incel shut-in can't comprehend that sometimes people want to get out of the house. Okay, so this guy says, I think you're misunderstanding Despereau, or you haven't had any negative experiences yourself at the cinema. There's a growing trend in cinema, and more so in America, where audience members are talking during the movie. this could be a sign that the movies are boring and people are tuning out, or it could be an effect of people watching movies at home with their friends. I think it's more that.
It's a little bit of. I think it's a little bit of all of the above. It's the phone culture. It's the I have to stream or TikTok or Twitter every 5 minutes when I think something and so on. It's also the actual quality of movies are going down. It's also that movie theaters don't really focus much on the actual experience of the movie anymore. And a lot of theaters are horribly just dilapidated at this point.
Sit up front, kids. That's all I got to say. Okay, so what did Richard say? Is there anything that conservatives is he no longer a conservative? Aren't afraid of? There is no growing trend. There were a couple of articles after the end of the lockdown saying that people had lost some of their social graces. But I've lived here for 8 years and have had an issue with people talking in the theater once, and the movie wasn't even that good, so I just left, and I go to the movies all the time. I never leave I normally don't leave a movie. I think I left, what was it, Hardware back in 1990. I remember I left that one.
When I go to movies, I try to go like a month after the movie has come out, because around here where I'm at in extremely, extremely rural Pennsylvania, if you go to a movie like 3 or 4 weeks after it's come out, you basically have the theater to yourself. Okay, and that is the best way to avoid people being dumbasses.
We didn't get any comments yet, guys. It looks like the chat has frozen. If you're out there, please put a comment in. Let me know we're still on. Not a fan of Back to the Future. Maybe Ethereal Dragon said something and people like, I can't anymore. I'm out. Somebody's going to say something that dumb. I'm out. I'm just kidding, Ethereal. Everybody's got their opinions.
Although I will say that's a very, very uncommon one you have there.
Yep. Oh, I should actually be putting these on screen. An hour and a half in, I remember to put the comments on screen. All right, let me get back to the thing here. What do we got? All righty, Mags again. Kim and Kim has been locked up at the pub. Oh, hold on. I have a crazy idea to try and get back the right to make more Kim and Kim. This is her independent comic book, his independent comic book. For a while, we were developing a TV series with FX, but they ultimately passed. And I really want to get girls back in the action on the page. Yeah, I remember those where, man, he was really, oh my gosh, I can't believe Kim. Yep. Dark Admiral's driving. Well, you should learn how to text and drive a little bit better, Dark Admiral. Practice makes perfect. Okay. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that.
And if you do happen to crash and you want to go on the Doctor Strange arc, I can recommend you books to start with. Well,
Rhaegar saying, can you imagine Richard going on the Jim Jeffries show today? I think it would be a bit of a circle jerk.
I mean, Jim Jeffries is a useless twat either way, so that was always a mistake, even back in the day, because Jim Jeffries is a useless twat, and he has been for like the last 20 years.
Yeah, not much to say here. You know what? In all honesty, I hope Mags gets his characters back so he can do whatever the heck he wants with it. Is the plan to get other people to pay for it? Eventually, yeah. Yeah, Richard. Look, I get it. I don't like Mags either. But what's
But everybody has to at least try to make a living.
And you know what? Kim and Kim has a small audience. I can't believe I'm defending Mags fucking Passaggio on this one. But Richard, you're fucking, you know what? It was a joke.
It's criticizing people for doing the exact same thing as he started out doing.
Let's see. She was a Marvel film. Okay. This video kind of pissed me off. I don't know why. I watched it and I was like, what? There's absolutely. Okay. Here's why. Let me tell you. I joke around a little bit saying, Thinking Critical he does modernized videos, modernized versions of videos I've done 6 to 8 years ago, at the height of all this. And I watched this one and I was like, oh my God, I literally have made this video.
Welcome to the party, pal, as the old meme goes.
So I was like, God damn, this would have been perfect 8 years ago. But I guess they gave her a job, editor's job or something like that. Like I said, I don't follow new comics anymore. But I was like, it's a history of what's her name, freaking feminist agenda girl, and the one she did the cat one where like every girl who had a menstruation ended up becoming cats.
Zoe Quinn?
I forgot her name.
Or Kelly Sue DeConnick?
I don't care enough to look it up.
Because I know Zoe Quinn got her comics made out of loyalty from all the people who despised Gamergate back in the day. I think Goddess Mode was one of hers, but it might have also been the cat one.
I guess that the thing, and I think I was just like, God, this is it? This is your video? I think it's because I was expecting more. You know, I wanted like an update kind of thing, because this is very much.
If you're going to say something, actually say something.
Well, no. He was saying something, but he was saying the same stuff we said
a decade ago.
Yeah, I was kind of wanting more of a, I don't know, more of a modern take on it. So I think the video, it's fine. It's just that it's kind of like you. I always get on to you because you go into movies, and if it doesn't live up to what you were expecting, and it is just what it is, you don't like it. You know. Well, I think I did the same thing here.
It's
man-eaters. Thank you, Dr.
What it is if I, some random schmuck who's not even paid to come up with this kind of stuff, can come up with a better story in 5 seconds than you did in the entire 2 to 3 year process of making this movie, yeah, I am going to be ticked off at you. Especially because if the thing I think is based on like the normal like conventions of how storytelling works, and they avoid doing that obvious thing, but what they end up doing is worse, I'm just like, well, the obvious correct answer was staring you right in the face. I don't know why you felt the need to reinvent the wheel and reinvent it badly.
Well, no, to expand on what I was saying was Dalton would hate a movie for what it wasn't rather than for what it is. You know, it's like, oh, they didn't do this, therefore it sucked. Because
the straightforward correct answer was better than the left field nonsense story you decided to tell in its place.
Yeah, I don't talk to him about it anymore. He has his thing. I got my. Let's see. Austin saying 207 videos I saved of his. I'm assuming Richard. The comics before SJW videos. Now there's only 5 after he deleted most of them. Run away from your past, Richard.
Yeah, see, that pisses me off more than anything. And this has been a thing that annoyed me ever since the Yellow Flash thing. This is basic YouTube etiquette. You never delete things. No matter how much your opinion changed from one era to the next era or whatever, never delete your YouTube history, because it should stand on its own merits. And if people find your old videos and note how you've changed or how you've drifted from that old format, what the correct answer is go, yes, and this is why I changed my mind, or this is what made me alter my opinion since that video came out. Never delete anything. Only cowards delete things on YouTube. Cowards and morons. And the two aren't mutually exclusive, mind you.
Ethereal didn't like Back to the Future because the mom came on to Marty. The whole point was to show that the mom was a little bit more freewheeling than she was in the 1980s. But I do agree with RDV that the Back to the Future 3-way scene was awesome. However, remember, that wasn't Back to the Future. That was Back to the Future 2. All right, let's get what's his name's reaction here. He's saying culture war nostalgia posts like this are a tacit admission that things right now are so great. No, it isn't. That you have to reach into the past to find something to complain about. So he basically saw the same thing. You did a video that we did, like he says, in March 2016. Chelsea Kane. Oh, Chelsea Kane. There you go. Mockingbird launched in March 2016. But Richard, had you watched the video, you would see that he went beyond Mockingbird. He went into Man-Eaters. He did a history of Chelsea Kane. So it wasn't just that. Next time, watch more than 4 minutes of the freaking video, 10-minute video. God damn it. I don't like it when I'm like, you'll have people comment on the title. Like that was all you had to say. Why would I have a 10-minute fucking video if all I said was throughout the entire thing was the title? You know, you'll get people who do this. Richard did the same thing. He commented on 3 minutes worth of a video.
Yeah, again, it's just like we were saying with the Gary and company doing that with shows and stuff. If you watch something, try actually like switching your brain on and engaging with the material, and then criticizing it based on its merits or lack thereof, rather than assuming you've already read or watched the thing and therefore don't need to actually look at things in context.
Yep. Now, Austin is saying that he used to watch Richard's videos when he would talk about old comics. He would say so many insightful things about that era, the writing, the art, the culture. You know, actually, I started this channel. The other things I would do, I love talking about the history of comics. It is such a great, it really is. The making of comics has a great history. That's what I'm trying to say. All right. I read parts of Man-Eaters. It was horrible. It was god awful. I did a bad comic beatdown on the first issue. All right. Let's see what's the next one. I think when was this? This is a day ago, so we're catching up here. Let's see. You and I were in the middle of it back then, but not everybody was. Wes did an informative and, dare I say, even-handed vid about a topic that's not even 10 years old. I don't get the beef. There you go. To me, like I said, and here you go. This, I guess this explains it. That this is actually talking to me too. Where Wes was there, by the way. He just wasn't a big YouTuber or anything like that at the time. So he was around. He knew about this, I'm sure. All right, let's see what Richard has to say here. Historical content is almost always based on new information or a new perspective on a subject. Please explain why. This is a thimble-deep tourist take on old news simply meant to stir the pot for clicks. Gee, when has anybody ever done that there, again, Mr. fucking Twitter video?
The pot and the kettle are now in a spaceship looking into the deep recesses of a black hole. That is how much calling things black they are doing at this point, Rich.
As you can see from the second screenshot, positive review of current comics get half of the views. Okay, now you're being disingenuous prick, Richard. Come on. Straighten the fuck up for a little bit. You know, I know, you know, and I know, and everybody else who's ever done any kind of fucking video on YouTube knows negative sells. What was it? Yellow Flash, by the way, put a negative title and a negative thumbnail on a positive comic book review because he knew it was going to get clicks. That is the way the world works.
To be fair, we've also done that. We pulled that with our Multiverse of Madness review, if you remember.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I got to tell you, my tongue is firmly in cheek when I say that. But okay, so so come on. Nostalgia because tourists prioritize clicks over culture and cloud over comics. Okay, once again, hold on. Wes is not a tourist in this. He was there. He just wasn't a YouTuber. He wasn't a commentator back then. Okay, God bless him for his success. Now he's a successful YouTuber.
And even if he were,
some would say a semi-successful, but look, I've got shadow banned to the point where like I said, I'm lucky if I make 200 views. Making 1,000 views a video, I would love to do that again. All right, let's go to this second thing.
Rich, either way, even if he were a tourist like you're claiming he was, you are describing a thing that literally made your career. Please do not make out with yourself in the mirror that hard, please. For the love of God.
Look, hey, his review, it got less than half of the but in roughly the same amount of time. But I wish I was not. I wish I wasn't shadow banned because my reviews were doing similar business, and that's just the way it is. You do the reviews because you know what? Talking negative all the time fucking sucks. It does. It is just, I guess, unless you get a whole group of guys to joke around talking negative. But you know what? Also, I have noticed so much about my audience is getting tired of it. You know, it's like, okay, yeah, we've heard it, but Wes is still making views and money talking negative. Let's see. Hold on. What we got going on? You boys. Okay, here it is. Your boy Zack's best videos was him on a park bench reviewing the comics he bought. Yeah, coughing with a lap comic is what I used to call it.
The lo-fi approach really was a benefit to him.
Yeah. Actually, one time I got to tell you, I got jealous pissed. I spent 12 hours on my America Chavez videos. I would spend hours editing in the right clips,
and then he'd come on and do it for 10 minutes. And
yeah, I put my video out, and in an hour it got 500 views. Okay, fine, that's good, because I know this is going to be 1,000, 2,000. And Richard came out, opened the comic, didn't talk about the fucking comic for 10 minutes, coughed a lot, said, joked about a couple of things. Oh, look, it's El Splato Elgato. It's like 15,000 in less than an hour. It's like, good damn, I'm exaggerating to make a point, but yeah, I was like, God damn it, you fucking kidding me? I got so pissed. I saw an article I was ignoring because I thought it was stupid. I got so pissed to prove that people will watch a video about nothing if it has the right title and thumbnail, that I found this article that literally said nothing will change with America Chavez. That's not a news story. That's literally saying nothing. Nothing will change is not a news story. So I grabbed that article, I read it, and it got 3,000 in views in 2 hours. Blew the 12-hour editing thing, blew it out of the water. Not eventually the other one took over, but yeah.
Sometimes though the lo-fi approach comes off as like authentic or more authentic, and I think one of Richard's biggest strengths has always been that he's kind of a simple guy, but he also knows that he's kind of a simple guy, and so he kind of makes that his power almost, so to speak.
I think one of my problems is I'm an optimistic cynic.
Well, but you're also, and this might actually get in your way sometimes, you're also somebody with 20, 30 years of being a showman experience.
Well,
and some of what makes YouTube things go viral is that they're not the mainstream media in that showman kind of way. A lot of what makes people get a following is they come off as they're just another guy like the average person doing average person.
That is exactly though what you're getting right here. Ask Tim Lim, ask Eric, anybody, Doug Ernst, anybody who's actually met me in real life. This is it, guys.
Yeah, I know, but you also default to showman mode just on reflex is the thing.
That is true. I don't like silence in the thing. I always say you gotta be very aware that there's an audience listening. So, yeah. Mm-hmm. Optimistic cynic. Does this mean you are optimistic that things are going to suck? Basically it. Yes. Okay. So let me see what we got here. DNC still can't fix his shag, the rambles. Ooh, excuse me, guys. I'm going to experience, apparently until this thing goes away, I'm going to experience some extreme heartburn. Just hit me. Let's see. Try being a cynical optimist. Hope you being. Well, hello to Hanger 18. What's up, man? Yeah, we're okay. We're hanging in there. We are moving. Actually, guys, you've seen this place destroyed. I've got boxes taken out. Yeah, it's when Gail heard that I had esophagitis, she said, "Oh my gosh!" And I said, "It's because of it kicks in because of allergies or injury." And I talked about the cat and the whole 9 yards, and she went, "Oh my gosh!" And she mopped up. and there was so much fucking cat fur in this room. It's like no wonder I'm having problems.
Yeah, they shed a lot. Yep.
Hey, I'm listening to
not
George
as much
Lucas
as dogs,
biography.
but they do still
He
shed
said
a
the
lot.
same thing about himself. I'm a cynical optimist. Direct quote. I did not know that. I thought I made that up on the spot. So I guess not. Nothing original under the sun, kids. All right, let's see. Okay, let's go up to the new one. This time it's personal. Dyke Dudley's catchphrase cracks me up. This time it's personal. Okay, that's nothing. Alrighty, new look at Tron Ares in theaters October 10th. Alrighty, so we got a still shot. Is that the You're Killing Me Smalls guy?
I'm not sure, to be honest with you.
Don't you want some girl boss and soy with your cool sci-fi movie? The fuck this actor? See, that's what I'm talking about. It's a fucking clip. It's not even a preview. If you play the preview, talk to me. Okay, these scenes don't look good, or I'm putting together it doesn't look good, or something like that. But come on, yeah, I don't know what he's about to say. But
it's the enemy is living rent free in your head, Rich. That's what's going on there.
No. This is disbrew. Richard's gonna have to say something pretty stupid for me not to be on his side on this one. Okay, let me see what he says. Have you ever been so manly that you were terrified a woman standing placidly with her hands in her pockets?
Yep, no, that works.
It's a supporting character and an obvious comedy sidekick in the background. No need to crash out Alpha Patriot. Yeah, I'm sorry. He's right.
I agree. I agree entirely. They're doing. You've seen this a lot.
He's right.
In recent years, where like we got so used to crapping all over the social justice mandated girl boss that some people will literally now flinch every time there's a girl. In the same way as it used to be that we criticized gay characters being portrayed wrongly because it turned every gay character into a lispy twink. Yeah, like Big Gay Al from South Park. But now, I swear to God, every time there's a gay character in anything, whether it makes organic sense or not, people are just like, oh, it's automatically woke because gay. And it's like, no, there's plenty of ways you can portray a gay character that's not woke. Like I saw, speaking of, once again, defending Agatha because it's a much better show than a lot of people gave it credit for, people were mad that Billy was portrayed as gay, even though it literally never came up and they never made him a stereotype. And the fact that the character's always been that way in the comics. So I'm like, so you've unironically become the very same traditionalist straw man that we always used to, because that's what they always used to frame us as. Whenever we would criticize people like Riri Williams or Iceman becoming gay all of a sudden, or Tim Drake becoming gay all of a sudden, etc. Whenever that would happen, we would always get the, oh, they're just a bunch of whiny traditional like family values conservative types. And it's like, no, some of us happen to be gay, black, men, women, some of us were in the very same categories as they were claiming to be representative of, and were having issues with it on the basis of it made us look like insufferable twats. But apparently a lot of people basically have become the very same straw man that we always used to get angry at them for calling us, because they would call us like tradcon fascists. Meanwhile, several of us were women, gay, black, etc., and going, how dare you represent us this way? This is dehumanizing.
All right. Let me see what the comments are. Excuse me. Let's see. Rhaegar saying I'm more of a cynical pessimist, which might be a sign I should do videos. You'll do well. I hope the Neutron is good. So do I. Visual. By the way, to answer Rhaegar's question, yes, I saw the trailer. Visually great. The story looks weak, but that's how I felt about Tron 2. What was it called? Tron Legacy?
Tron Legacy was the second one. I hated that second one. I disliked it entirely. The new one looks so much better than that second one.
I thought the second one was a beautiful looking film with a weak story.
See, I wasn't that blown away by the visuals, and maybe part of that is because that they were they were basically treating it like it was the second coming of the freaking Matrix with all the VFX and stuff, and they didn't.
It bombed.
They didn't live up. They didn't live up to the hype that they were hyping up with Tron Legacy. That was one of the things that pissed me off the most. It's kind of like when people say that the Avatar movies look good, and I'm like, it's just photorealistic naturalism again. Insufferable photorealism that doesn't look stylistic or interesting in any way whatsoever.
RDV is saying esophagitis is horrible. I have it. I'm on anti-acid medication to keep the acids. My biggest fear is I got to give up spicy food. Now, they say because it's allergy, it'll probably go away. So I'm hoping, and I'm not putting spice on my foods. It's so terrible. I want my acids. I want my hot sauce and such. Let's see. I choked twice because of esophagitis. It started. I told Gail. I said, I feel like I've got something right here. I can't swallow. It's like something stuck right here, and I was eating. I think it was combos. I took a bite, and all of a sudden, I couldn't swallow it at all. It was very weird. All right. Anyway, I'm going to say something controversial. Rhaegar, I'm not a big Tron fan, and I like science fiction. I just don't get the hype. Well, you gotta on some. I know with me in my generation, Tron was never seen before. I mean, we just had Star Wars, and that was something we never saw before. But here you go with Tron, and the special effects. Everything looks so great. It did make a ton of money back in the day. I think part of it probably is because it was slower than fucking molasses. I loved it, but it's a very slow movie if you go back and watch it.
Look at what Austin just said.
Careful, Dalton. You may summon Ash from his ban from the channel just by mentioning Avatar. That's something. I hate how modern TV shows make females studly into women or gay at the end of this. Yeah. I haven't seen Legacy yet, but I have seen the original already. Now, well, North Star's been gay for 40 years now. All right, let's move up to the next. We're getting to the end here, I guess, because that was 10 hours ago. Okay, it's just so freaking cool. It's Bane and Batman. I guess if you like it. I read Absolute Batman 1 through 6. Poor Batman doesn't make sense to me. I've said this many times. As a poor person, I don't have resources nor the time or inclination to build a Batmobile out of a dump truck. When you are poor, you're worried about housing, you're worried about food.
And even aside from that, like, realism standpoint, isn't a more realistic, poorer version of Batman just the Punisher?
I guess. No, let's see. Esophagitis is horrible. I have it from going in. I keep the acids from going in my food pipe. I choked twice because of esophagitis. I had no idea. I actually was responding to it without reading it. Sorry there, RDV. What is red? I don't know what the red part is. So there we go. We're done with those. Let's see. Tron. Where are we here? Misha Lavoca is Carmen Comet from Common America. Okay. Let's see. Undead Quinn. I just watched Honey Don't, which was both Margaret Qualley and Aubrey Plaza. Both are gay in the movie. In the whole movie, there's not really a good man in it. That is a movie I will watch. One thing, I went and saw Francis Ford Coppola's movie last year. I forget what it was called. It was the one that really sucked. The name is
Megalopolis.
Megalopolis, yeah. The only good thing about it is we finally get to see Aubrey Plaza Starkers. Okay, cool. I appreciate that. Thank you.
I mean, if you want some sexy Aubrey Plaza action, I will once again point out that Agatha All Along exists, and there's a lot of sexy Aubrey Plaza in that.
No, this time it was naked. The one below that, you skipped my last post. Red. The one below that. I don't have it. It must not have. It didn't show up on. It didn't show up on StreamYard there, RDV. That's why it didn't get read.
It may have been YouTube, Venkman. Yeah, YouTube might have banished it to the shadow realm because you said a naughty thing. maybe.
Oh, did he say a naughty thing?
He may have. I'm just guessing because YouTube will do that. If you try to chat something they don't approve of, they will just delete it.
Yeah, the last chat I've got from you, I choked twice because of esophagitis. I had no idea I had it. And then it's Ethereal, Rhaegar, Austin, Undead, Rhaegar, Ethereal, Austin, Rhaegar, One Slick. Hey, One Slick, Tron was an introduction into the concept of digital world. Yep. And yeah, and by the way, it looks like Rhaegar is in third. Oh, wait, if I click this. Just for fun. We got 15 people. Desert Rose is 15, 14 R.R. Rodriguez. Underworld Dream is 13. 12 is Black Spiders. 11, Frank Garrett. 10 is Austin P. 9 is One Slick Dude. 8, Tahilm. Con Lives. 7. Number 6 is Tony Hayes. This is for comments and such. The more comments you do, you go up the thing. 5 is RDV. 4 is Oh Hero Angel. Rhaegar is third. Ethereal is second. And Dark Admiral is in the lead right now.
Austin, I know you're joking, but if you unironically want to get a good book on various like esoteric dimensions and stuff, David Spangler's book Subtle Worlds is probably the best book on like the astral plane and so on. Also, because you mentioned the Shadow Realm, I do, as a millennial, have to make the obligatory Yu-Gi-Oh reference.
Okay, so RDV says, as a heterosexual white male, I feel they don't represent gay men enough. I want to see a superhero choking on a fat one on the big screen. Let's make the crying game again.
But, unironically, though, I know why lesbians are the more marketable gay subset, but it does piss me off that the only gay representation we get is lesbians, and there are next to no male-on-male relationships.
Let's talk about something, RDV. You got your fucking wish. Okay, not the superhero itself, but if you guys have seen Peacemaker season 2, episode 1, there's an orgy where you will see that. I mean, it is straight up a porn scene. I'm not fucking kidding you. All that stuff's going on. There's a scene. It's passing by, but you see penetration. It's passing by. You see oral. It's passing by, and I mean, like clearly, there's a guy jacking off. So yeah.
Okay, I'm going to ask you something now, and your answer to the following question will determine whether I'm actually willing to watch Peacemaker season 2 for that. Does this involve shirtless, naked John Cena? Because if it involves shirtless, naked John Cena, then I will accept that. If it's just a series of twinks who don't have enough testosterone between them to
Oh no, they're pretty built. I mean, everybody in the thing are very
okay. That's good because that's the other half of the.
However, in that scene, he is fully clothed. He is high off his ass, and it seems like the orgy just happens around him, and then he gets involved a little bit. But then he.
That's a shame. Yeah. Why hire?
Okay, let me finish.
Go ahead.
He spends a good portion of the first, I'd say, definitely the opening, but he spends a good portion of this movie in his underwear. So there you go.
Okay, you have now sold me because the other half of the failure of gay representation, apart from characters just being written horribly and being insufferable twats, is. When we bother to see men on men stuff, it's always insufferable, lispy, flamboyant twinks and never anyone with actual masculinity. And as a gay man, I have to tell you, and also as a men's rights advocate on top of that, one of the reasons I like men is because I actually like the way masculine men look. So enough with the twinks already. I understand that they're a huge part of the gay subculture, but they've been overrepresented for like 30 years. It's enough already. Show me a man who actually looks like a man, please.
Austin nails it with this one. Where does he get the fuel for the Batmobile if you're dirt poor? Exactly. Let's see. Now, if it has a scene, I didn't see it in the comic, but if it has a scene of him taking money off the Bad guys, okay. Dalton is an expert in all things Shadow Realm. People act like Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy aren't toxic. They should be just, that's the most abusive kind of relationship is a lesbian relationship. I feel like Sacha Baron Cohen and Talladega Nights. Hello, Ricky Bobby. I saw the movie Islander. It was shit. I'm commenting more now since I just finished Apocalypse, says Austin. Let's see. Boys level. Boys wish they had shit like this in it. I'm telling you, they go a little over the deep end in this orgy scene.
Although the Gen V spinoff of The Boys is actually, I think, better than The Boys. And if what you want is like edgy, cynical stuff, Gen V is really, really quite good on its own merits, as well as being better than The Boys.
The comics again, good. The Boom Studio Power Ranger Comics has great lesbian couple. Then Dino Fury created a toxic lesbian and gave her a sweet girlfriend that she doesn't deserve. Hopefully that's the story arc. One thing I used to get one thing I used to get problems for is the presence of a gay person in a comic book is not SJW. It's not woke. There are gay people around. The presence of lesbians. It's not the characters themselves. Always, it's how they're written. Which, by the way, I do remember that was a contention I had about one of Wes's videos where he said somebody was a bad character, and I will always hold. There are no bad characters. There's just bad writers. Any good writer can take a character, even now that's considered a good writer, could take Moon Girl and the Devil Dinosaur and make them interesting. I would make them into Calvin and Hobbes. That would be my take.
That does sound interesting. Actually, I would actually.
It would almost be like a mixture between the Calvin and Hobbes and the Secret Life of Walter Mitty. Now, the problem with that is for readers like ourselves, older readers, there wouldn't be a lot of tension because ultimately it's a fantasy, it's a dream, whatever. So we always know it's all going to be all right. But I would market Moon Girl and the Devil Dinosaur to the younger set. I would put that out in grocery stores, bookstores, wherever, put it in front of kids. Make it a scholastic book. So it's in libraries and in schools and such.
I have so many fond memories of the Scholastic Book Fair growing up. I'm sure your girls do too.
And me, by the way. But that's how. Oh, by the way, I've had multiple requests. You should start that if I wrote thing again. So I don't know. Let's see. Wayne Industries probably has an oil refinery. Yeah, that part pissed me off. I love the Highlander. Me too. It didn't piss me off. Everybody's got their takes on it. By the way, I in the 90s, or was it early 2000s, they put out the movie with all the deleted scenes put into it. I can't watch the regular movie now because I'm always thinking, where's that scene that...
Yeah, it was one of the deleted scenes.
I mean, technically, bad characters are evil. That's why we call them bad guys. I'm talking about bad guys, but I'm just saying there's no bad characters. Now, bad guys, yes, of course there are.
Bad in this context means crappily written, not morally bad.
Right. Let's see. I'm guessing you're referring to. Well, it was. Oh goodness, Ben Stiller. Ben Stiller was in Walter Mitty. But no, actually, it could be any. It could be the book. It could be. It could be the Danny Kaye version or the Ben Stiller. It's just the.
Wait, premise. They did a second version of Walter Mitty. I only remember the Ben Stiller version.
No. Danny Kaye did the original back in like 1950s.
I didn't know that movie was a remake. I'm gonna have to look at the original now.
It's a great movie. I recommend it. But then again, go on a Danny Kaye watch fest. He's great. He's a great comedian.
Yeah, I've seen him in other stuff. I like him in other stuff. I didn't know that The Secret Life of Walter Mitty was a remake. I'm guessing most of the things that annoy me about that movie are stuff they added for the remake.
I see him every Christmas in White Christmas. I love that movie. Gay men in media for gay men are way different than gay men in media for women. Look at yaoi manga. I did once. My kids, I said, well, okay, recommend me some manga. And they recommended me. They said, oh, you should look up yaoi. And you'll like that. And I looked it up. I'm like, what the and they were laughing their asses off.
As someone who grew up on Western comics, do not dip your toes into the deeper parts of the manga pool if you're not ready. But on that note, something I would like to see emphasized in future gay characters or gay storylines is do for the gay people exactly what you did for the heterosexual people, i.e., if you're going to focus on their sexuality as a formative part of their character, I expect there to be romantic subplots and things, just like there is between Lois and Clark, just like there is with MJ and Peter, just like there is with Gwen and Peter, and so on. In straight stories, quote unquote, the reason their sexuality matters to begin with is because you want them to get the girl, or in Wonder Woman's case, to get the guy, and so on. So why for the love of God are you gonna make all these characters gay and then not actually focus on the romantic side of their life? If them being gay is so important to you, why don't you make likable characters for them to fall in love with, and then we can do the will they won't they thing just like we do with straight characters? God damn it!
So I'm thinking a little bit more. Okay, yes. By the way, Calvin and Hobbes, absolute brilliance. To expand on what I was saying, because Austin is right. The original movie is barely the same as Ben Stiller. The one thing I didn't like about the Ben Stiller movie was that there was no hesitation after he decides to go for it. There's no hesitation. There should be scenes where he's like, I don't know, and then finally at the end, he's the Walter Mitty that can do things. But he's the Walter Mitty that can do things about halfway through the movie. So it's like, okay, where's the character arc? Where's the story going from here? So while I didn't hate it, I thought it kind of plateaued and just kind of stayed on the same level. But what I'm talking about is the premise of, if I were to write Moon Girl, I would make it so maybe even a little bit of Saint Elsewhere. Throw it in where she's a little bit autistic, and everything is in her mind, by the way, because that's Calvin and Hobbes. She has a dinosaur toy she sees as alive, and this dinosaur toy is kind of like her shield. It's her security.
Security blanket.
So when something happens, she imagines Devil Dinosaur helping out. If she sees something going on, she imagines Devil Dinosaur helping out in situations and such. And I think I would go with that. I meant Secret Life of Walter Mitty is the fact that when something happens and she can't deal with it herself, she imagines her and the Devil Dinosaur dealing with it.
You know what would be an interesting way to put a superhero spin on this if you did do it that way? Okay. Make her a powerful telepath, but not aware of the fact that she's a powerful telepath, so that there is a physical element to Devil Dinosaur, in the sense that because she envisions him that way, her telepathy essentially makes it real, more or less.
Yeah. Okay, I do agree with this, by the way. Not to all the extent. I do like some Ben Stiller as the protagonist, but give me Dodgeball and Heavyweights any day. If you haven't seen the movie Heavyweights, it's on Disney Plus. It's a 1990s movie. He plays a camp counselor. It's a fat camp. And when the kids go to camp originally, all the counselors are heavy, and they're like, I know you got your candy stash, but they wouldn't do anything. And then here comes Ben Stiller. He buys the camp. He's in shape. And he basically, it's fat jokes and just berating kids for like an hour and a half after that. It is a lot of fun. But there you go. Okay, kids, it is 1:00, and I just looked at myself, and I've got the red eye going on. I am beat to death by today, and I just got to wake up tomorrow at 7:00 and do it again, start loading up more truck. I want to point that I wanted to say something. Man, Dominic, God bless you. Thank you very much. Salt of the earth, man. It was my birthday on July 29th. And I put it over there for safekeeping. Dalton sent me a present and a card. Happy belated birthday, and so forth and so on. It was very nice of him. And I look in, I open the spot. Dom sent me something. Okay, cool. I look in and I see I'm like, oh, wow. Okay. You sent me a trade paperback. That's awesome. He sent me Jack Kirby's Fourth World Omnibus.
That's cool.
For my birthday. This is fucking awesome. I'm not opening it just yet because we're moving. There's no point to it. But holy shit, the Fourth World. The thing is, this was one of my god dang it, I want to get it kind of books. So this is freaking out of the park kind of thing right here. Wow.
And while we're showing off birthday presents that relate to
you had a birthday like a day before mine.
Like 4 days. July 25th is my birthday, and my co-host for Podcast of the Storm, the Brainstormer of Pop Culture,
move it over just a touch,
sent me the J.M. DeMantis omnibus of Dr. Fate that came
awesome
out
as well.
a couple months ago.
That's the 1980 series.
Yes, it is the one where Kent and Enza die and the Strausses take over.
Yeah, RDV. It has been 2 hours, which is exactly how long the cover ranking would be. But had I gotten so tired I needed to leave, we could do that with this show. With the other one, we need to do all 12 covers. So we are going to do that. No, I can't say that. We're moving until the last day of our move is Sunday. If I might definitely have to do the auction, obviously, because that's the paycheck. So that'll be tomorrow at 8. And on Sunday, if we can do it, it will be Deathstroke. If we can't, we'll maybe jump on and do another live stream. Not here. It'll be at the new place. Which reminds me, I got to take my daughter to get, or my wife to sign us up for Xfinity tomorrow. Did you read Hillbilly yet?
No, I haven't read it yet. It's on the list somewhere.
And how do you pronounce DeMatteis's name? I pronounce it DeMatteis, but then again, I'm very famous for not knowing how to pronounce shit.
I pronounce it Demantis because I believe that's how I've heard it said before.
Demantis? There's no N in it.
It's Demantis.
Oh, Dematis. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. But I could also be wrong. It might just be one of those names that's hard to pronounce. But from what I've seen of this is a really good storyline, and it's only the second, to the best of my knowledge, actual omnibus of Dr. Fate in a while. The first one, of course, being the DC Golden Age Archive edition, which has the entire More Fun Comics run in it, which I also own. But I saw that came out a couple months ago, and it was on my, when I get money, I'm going to buy it list. But my friend Brainstormer Pop Culture beat me to it, which made me very, very happy.
All righty. So if you guys saw the unboxing, not yesterday, that was the Valiant stuff, but the one before that, we've got a great auction tomorrow. Please join at 8 p.m. And then, I don't know, whenever, what are you free on Sundays? We'll do a live stream. I can't really promise the cover rankings because they'll be like this, and I've got the red eyes and everything already. But we'll do something on Sunday nights. So at the very least 10:30. If we could do earlier, we'll do earlier. But yeah, should be from the new place. Exciting stuff. That's my bad. What is Johnny Carson imitation? That being said, thanks for hanging out with us. If you like the content, please click like and comment so I know we could do more of this. Somebody mentioned we should EFAP the big debate from a long time ago. It's been a long time since I've revisited it. That should be fun. That being said, thank you very much for hanging out. Don't forget to do all the clicking, liking, sharing, and thank you very, very much for watching. Have a good night.
Cheers, guys.
All right. Fun time.